Welcome back, guys. It's just me today, and that is because today is not going to be one of our regular videos, which is usually comical or funny. Today's not gonna be that. I decided we shouldn't be like that every time because that's not how our lives are. Like anyone else, we have our same problems, and I mean, as you saw in the last video, our fights. But I want to be honest with you guys here. I want to use this presence that I have here on YouTube to kind of show you guys what we actually go through. Not everything is rainbows and butterflies like we would want it to be. That's just not how life is. I especially wanted to do this alone because this is about Audrey, and it's about something that we've been dealing with for a long time, and I've personally dealt with what's kind of led to what Audrey is thinking or where she is at now. This has been really hard. A lot of people know that I've been through. If you have been following me for a while or you personally know me, then you know that I had a weight loss transformation. I lost about 185 pounds. I got very, very skinny. I went through an anorexic stage, which I'm planning on talking about completely on this channel. But this right here, this what I'm doing today, has only been triggered because of events that have been happening very recently with Audrey, and I really want to be there for her. And I have been there for her, and I know a lot of people have, but being in that mindset, like, it messes you up and you just don't want to listen to anyone. And the stage that Audrey is at right now, I feel like is triggered from me, unfortunately, and I didn't mean to do that. And I told myself I wasn't going to cry in this video, but here I am in my room filming by myself and I'm crying. So I wrote Audrey a letter. I wrote this thing to myself, admitting to my mistakes and what I've done. And I wanted to read it to Audrey, and I really hope she can see what she's doing wrong and that you're actually super beautiful. So I wrote this paper on my phone. I just wanted to read it because I feel like this is my only way to actually talk to Audrey and where she will listen to me, because every time I try and talk about it, she pushes me out. And I get that, like, you don't want to hear about it. Like, when you're in this mindset, you don't even want to talk about it because it's just going to trigger your tears, and I understand completely, but I really want you to hear me out and just listen. So I called this my tainted footprints, and you're going to understand why. The day I wrote the phrase "my diet plan" in my pink journal was the day I said goodbye to my sister. With the intentions of developing a healthy lifestyle, I invited her into this new footprint and encouraged her to take our steps together into an imprint we would mark together. Between the both of us, we lost over 250 pounds. Our accomplishment was inspiring, and the weight melted off, and with it went myself, the older sister, the role model. Overwhelmed with self-loath and disgust, I allowed the brutal reality of my eating disorder to take over my life, which came to be hers. I fell into a deep state of anorexia. It third-wheeled our relationship and lingered in my deepest thoughts every minute of the day. I allowed my accomplishment to transform into an evil disappointment that infected my body with a mind-degrading disease that I attempted to hide from Audrey, but apparently I failed. Deeply rooted into my past, I was determined to never go back to the 300-pound girl who turned down shopping plans to go out with her friends because I knew I couldn't fit into the clothes that others were going to try on. I slowly walked down the hallways because I was afraid the heavy weight would shake the floor below me. Just like food itself, this girl became my enemy. A buildup of guilt, fear, and anxiety called for strict restrictions on my life. My disease convinced me that I should live off 300 calories a day, and at some point it even told me that that was too much. The glass scale in my bedroom was both my best friend and my enemy. It weighed my attitude for the day and decided what I was allowed to eat. When the scale read a number that did not meet my satisfaction, I would lock myself in my bedroom because I was too ashamed to face the reality of the situation. Over and over again, I would fail not only myself, but also Audrey. Initial health and energy I had at the beginning of my diet disappeared, and I physically began to fade. My gray tint skin was dull, and I was covered in peach fuzz that put great effort to keep me warm. My hair fell out in clumps, and my lips constantly turned into an unflattering shade of blue. The bones that stuck out of my cheekbones and chest made it impossible for me to hide my secret life from Audrey. Occasionally, she would walk in on the battle between the scale and I. Her innocent eyes would watch me, and I allowed it. Attempting to hold back the tears after a bad weigh-in was tough. I didn't want to show her the disappointment I had built up towards myself, but my actions throughout the day had exposed it. Later, she would ask why I was measuring out my vegetables and carefully reading nutrition facts, and I would explain to her that it was just what I like to do. These exposures became more and more frequent and impossible to cover. She watched the disease indulge the very last bits of fat my body was desperately holding on to. It was not long after that she would do the same and anorexia would claim another. I can remember watching my 12-year-old sister's fingers slip down her throat with her head bent over the toilet as she coughed up the results of what I've done to her. I felt my legs begin to shake and my body filled with terror. I froze there for a second and I saw myself. I watched her puke up fear, guilt, and self-dissatisfaction. All characteristics that were brought up by me, the role model sister, down to counting the calories on the sticks of gum. She watched everything she put into her mouth after. Like me, she avoided parties that would have a buffet of food and nights out with friends where ice cream stops at Cold Stone would almost always take place. Audrey stared at herself in the mirror and was infected by my influence. And I keep thinking to myself, look at what I've done. Look at the example I set for my sister. Like, who in their right mind would do this to their sibling? Rushing over to her, I took her hand and felt the damage I have done. Her bony hands told me that I failed her. She stepped into this dark footprint with me and we were stuck. I felt guilty of what I've done to myself and how I let it carry on to her. Instead of shielding her from this nightmare, I infected her with the disease, and I feel like it will haunt her forever at this point. I cannot fathom the internal thoughts that had grown darker with time. I regret not recognizing our great achievement and embracing the reality of our success that we worked so hard for. I let my eating disorder step into this footprint with my sister and I, and led us to the dark reality of an overpowering monster. I realize I have let her down and wish it could be undone. It is only time that may temporarily disguise my sin, but it is the regret that will forever remain within. And I'm sorry, Audrey. I'm sorry that I let you down, that you are feeling the way you're feeling all the time. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't even know what I was thinking at the time. And I just want you to know that you're beautiful and that you don't deserve to look at your way the way you do. Because it makes me sad seeing that you see yourself that way and that you sometimes want to change the way you look or the way you are. And I see you transforming every single day, and not in a positive way, because of what you think you see, because what you think you see is not what you actually are. I really hope you listen to me and watch this video, because you never listen to me now, and I understand, and I have been through it, and I know how it is, and I just want to let you know that I'm here for you and that I want to help you through this as much as I can. But you need to do the work to better your mind, because where you are right now is not you, and it is your mind that is telling you you look a certain way. But I know the real Audrey is in there, and I want you to fight. I want you to fight harder than you ever have before, to look past that monster that is covering you from seeing the real Audrey, because I know she's still in there and I really miss her. I miss her a lot. I miss her a lot, and I just want us to live a happier life and not have to worry about this every day. because I promise you, Audrey, it's such a better life on the other side. And I'm telling you that truthfully from a standpoint of someone who's been there, and I've seen it and I've lived it, and it's not fun. And you were there for me when I was trying to get out of it, and I just want to be there for you. And I want to experience new things, and I want to move on, move past this, because life is so much better when you're not worried about what you're eating and what you're doing, and not thinking about it every second, and not starving yourself until it's finally weigh-in day, and then you see that the scale stayed the same or it's lower, and that's the only bit of satisfaction you have. Because I feel every day you should be happy, and every day you should be satisfied, and not just the day that you lose weight or the scale stays the same. That's not healthy. I just know if you keep living this way, we won't be able to pursue the dreams that we've always talked about, Audrey. We have a vision board, great dreams of moving to LA together, you being the godmother of my kids one day, and you being my bridesmaid, and me helping you with your hair business one day. All of our dreams that we want to come true, and I want you to be able to accomplish all of that. But I know you won't be able to successfully do that if you are constantly holding yourself back in this way. So, and I would like to be there to experience all these accomplishments with you. All of our dreams, I can't wait to take on with you, but I just need you to get past this one stage so that we can be able to move on and start acting on those dreams. So I really hope you take this video and hopefully you got something out of it. I love you very much, Audrey. I love you more than you know. And we're not going to let this monster win. We won't. And I'm sorry for putting this monster in your head, but I am trying, and I will try really hard to help you defeat it. And we will get through this, Audrey. We will. And I promise you, you're not in this alone. So that's all I wanted to say. Sorry guys for the depressing video. Like I said, people can pick and choose what they put on the internet, but I choose to be honest, and this is just me being honest, and I really hope you guys understand. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have. I love you, Audrey. I love you so much.